It was the last day of admission, and uh, I reached barely when the window was closing.
Okay.
So they said it's closed now. Come next year. When can you join? I said next month I can join. Okay. So once you come, I'll give you later. I said no, sir. I want later. Tour certificate. Then her eyes opened widely. She saw the grade and she said, like, this guy looks promising. So it was a better grade than other students who applied that year.
Hello everyone. Today we have a talented guest with us, Mr. Sachin Bavkar, who is a brand communication designer and founder director of an agency called Adnya. He has transformed many brands with his creativity and expertise. So let's welcome him and have an insightful communication with him. Hello, Sachin sir. We're
Hello.
with the Art Ads and Idea podcast.
Thank you very much.
Okay. So, you have made quite a name for yourself in the industry with your experience and quality of work. So, would you tell us or our listeners कि आपके जर्नी में आपने कैसे चालू किया in the industry? Like how did you get into the industry, like creative field में?
So, okay. See, actually, I came from a studious individual in household.
Okay.
And my siblings, they were scholars. And I was one of the fourth in the house. Everybody used to do study, I used to draw. Okay. And my siblings, they were winning scholarship in school and all these things. And I was hardly getting past in the school days. So my challenge was to keep up with them.
Okay.
And it was a difficult task for me because my most of my time I used to spend on looking at the things, draw this, do typography. I mean, like in school days, I used to do typography. There, I didn't know it's called typography or something like that. I used to do it like doing the lettering and all these things. I used to find it interesting. So when 10th, when I finished high school in barely marks, but I passed.
Okay.
So everybody was happy and they were looking at me, what are you going to do in life? So when we found out about the colleges and all these things, I didn't know anything because I only knew drawing teacher. Okay. That is the only field I can do. Mm-hmm. So I decided to join Art Institute. Okay. So I'm actually from Fulton, which is close to Pune.
Okay.
So I came to Pune for college. So there was something called Abhinav Kala Mahavidyalaya. So I went there, and this was the first time I was traveling to Pune. So I didn't know anything about it. So I went there, and it was the last day of admission. And I reached barely when the window was closing. Okay. So they said it's closed now. Come next year. I said, ma'am, don't do this thing. I came from really far away, and if I don't do this today, I won't get this chance again. Right. So she said, see, in school days you had these exams, elementary, intermediate. Right. So she said, so show me the certificates. So I showed certificate, then her eyes opened widely. She saw the grade and she said, like, this guy looks promising. So it was a better grade than other students who applied that year. So she said, come, write your these things. And I got the admission. So that is the one era of entering in art college. Right. Till entering in art college, I didn't know anything about advertising, branding, graphic design, nothing I knew. Mm-hmm. I knew this college teaches you how to draw and you can make a career out of it. How, I don't know. Okay. So those days, Times of India used to have weekly 2 supplements, color supplements, which was Saturday Times and Sunday Review. Otherwise, whole week, the newspaper and everything used to come black and white. Okay. So in Saturday Times and Sunday Review used to run color ads. Okay. And those days, there were 2 agencies, Ambience and Tricaegray. I don't know whether you heard about it. They were some of the very hot creative agencies in India. And they used to do fantastic work. So those Sunday Times, Sunday Review and Saturday Times gave me inspiration to study visual communication.
Okay.
So I got inspired by all these things, and I have decided to do visual communication after foundation. So this is how I started my creative journey. Means like I started thinking about, oh, there is something called visual communication. There is something called applied art, which I should do something about it. It's more than drawing teacher kind of things. So this is how I did my studies in that one. Yeah. So after I did applied art, whatever you call it, visual communication today's days. I completed that in my college, Pune. And then I have decided to, there is now Pune is advanced and developed a lot, and there are a lot of branding and packaging design studios are there. A lot of good work happens from Pune. But those days, Pune was not doing that well. Okay. And I wanted to, so I was inspired so much, and I wanted to come to Mumbai. So I came here for interviews and all these things. And those days, there was two departments for creatives. There was a studio where the artworks and all these things used to happen. And there was a creative department where visualization and art direction, creative direction was happening. So I came. So they said first 2 years, you have to work in studio to understand, get the understanding of how functions and all this. I said, yeah, life is very small. I can't waste 2 years on this. And that is also not guarantee. Ki after 2 years, you will be promoted to the creative department. So I have decided to chuck the Mumbai thing. Okay. And then there was another city was doing very good upcoming in advertising industry. It was a Bangalore.
Okay.
I have decided to go to Bangalore, but there was two issues. I knew only one language, which is Marathi. Going to Bangalore was a big challenge. So how do I sustain there? Because I didn't know Hindi also. Because in Pune, everybody speaks Marathi. Those days at least. So, but I said nothing. Yeah, I have to do these things. So I went to Bangalore. I gave interviews in 2 agencies. First interview happened at Lintas. Now it's called Low. And second was in Ogilvy. At that time it was called O&M. So I went there and they saw my college project and they hired me. They said oh, you come. First sentence I spoke in Ogilvy's interview, I said I don't know English, please bear with me. That is also told by somebody. This is what you need to say first. So, because they don't speak Hindi, I don't speak English. Well, I don't speak Hindi too. But somehow they liked my work. Mm-hmm. And when I started career in Ogilvy, everything is to happen in English. And it was too complicated for me. So first 6 months, I spent half of the nights taking briefs at home, translating that into Marathi, understand that, next day to go out to office, work and deliver something. Yeah, it was they used to call me mute creative guy because I never used to speak because I don't know how to speak English. That was the issue. But luckily what happened that year, I had done one calendar for Myco Group. And that won first award in Bangalore Ad Club. Oh, that gave me a lot of recognition. So Ogilvy's team, creative team and all these things started giving me a better work. Mm-hmm. So they gave me a campaign and I worked on these 2 campaign was very, but those days visualizers never used to get the campaigns to do. Packaging design, bus shelter design and all these things. Because that calendar got award, they gave me these campaigns to do. Okay. Brew coffee and there was so that campaign, I came to Mumbai for a shoot. Because that was a fashion, Madhur Court's fashion campaign tha. And I spoke to Atul Kasbekar. I said I want to shoot with you. He said, okay. I came here and Atul was hot photographer those days. Okay, he knew advertising industries, best people, Trika Agre, Enterprise, Nexus Equity, and those hot agencies. And I wanted to get into those, because of that, then only I came into this industry. So I told Atul, since I'm here, I want to come and meet Muhammad Khan of Enterprise. So he said, this will be very difficult to tell him something. I said, please do, yeah. Give me his office number and I'll call him and all these things. He said, yeah, that I can do. So we finished shoot around 5:36. We were in Mukesh Mills, Kulaba. I called this thing, secretary, like enterprise office. Said, I want to speak to Mohammed Khan. So she gave it to Mohammed Khan. Mohammed Khan said, I'm Sachin Bavkar. I came from Bangalore. I'm here for a shoot and I want to meet you. He said, yeah, okay, come tomorrow. I said, no, I'm going tomorrow. I want to meet you today. He said, Bobby, it's a 6 o'clock. Where are you right now? I'm in Kulaba. You know where is my office? I said, yeah, it's in Worli somewhere. Okay. You know where it is? I said, no, I'll figure it out. So he said, no, you come tomorrow. I said, no, sir, I need to meet you today because I won't get this chance again. So he said, okay, you come. So I took cab, I took bus, and somehow I reached Worli and I went in. He said, you wasted my 1.5 hours. This was the first sentence he said. I said, I'm very sorry. But then I showed him these 2 campaigns, which I did. He said, okay, you can join us. I said, lovely. So when can you join? I said, next month I can join. Okay. So once you come, I'll give you later. I said, no, sir, I want later. He said, nobody's there in the office. I'm the only one who's sitting. I said, there is a paper, there is a pen, you can write it and give it to me. He said, you're a very crazy guy. He said, but he did that when he gave me that later. Because without that, how could I resign from previous agency? So it was difficult. So he said, okay, I'll give it to you because you are not going to listen to me at all. So that's how I started my actual journey with the enterprise. Well, like those 2 years with Ogilvy was okay. But my actual learning happened under Mohammed Khan. The typography sense, visual sense, how to look at the advertising, how to look at the visuals, how to make it mesmerizing and things. Right. So that was actually my training period. Like what I studied in college, what I studied in my previous agency, everything I undid there. And I started new journey. I transformed myself with Mohammed Khan. So that's how I'm into this industry.
Cycle, Mumbai to Bangalore, from Bangalore to Mumbai.
Yes.
So, sir, journey was fantastic. So, now we all know, like, you own a agency called Adnya, right? So, like, how your studio sets you, like, how you set your studio apart from the other design studios and other agencies? Like, how you guys function and work?
The function is very similar to everybody. But the thing is, in Adnya, see, now dynamics of advertising and branding has changed completely.
Okay.
How I started
Right.
and how today is, it's completely changed. Okay. So the thing is, because of internet world, challenges for every brand is a lot because of exposure. Exposure is big.
Right.
So if you are a small brand and price range is same with the big brand, so for a consumer, you both are same. If this guy is doing so much, you have to do the so much, whether you have a capacity or not. Because consumer is not looking at, he's a humble guy, he just started, so he can't spend money or he can't do better packaging design. He has a choice, 10 things, and whatever looks best, he picks it up. So the challenge for clients have become a lot than an agency or branding company or something like that. See, we are not more agency, we are a branding and packaging design studio. Okay. So, see, my like for example, recently we did a work for Herbal Witch. They are into the skincare products. So they launched 5 products, okay, which ranges from 500 to 1,000 rupees or so. Okay, it's a bidding soap. And post-COVID, everybody is shifting towards more of a natural, organic, and good to do products and all these things. People are very conscious about what they are purchasing or what they are buying and things like that. So when they came to us, they said, who's competition? So like well-known brands like Forest Essential, Kama, and all those things. So those guys are actually, they're very big in the market. I mean, like Forest Essential is considered one of the international brand. Like the recognition for that brand is amazing. So I said first thing is we have to do branding and packaging in, if not better than them, but in parallel with them at least.
Yeah.
So said, no, yaar, we are just startup. I said, that's the thing. That is what you think. Consumer is not going to think in that manner. So you have to look at least in parallel with them, so that he can choose. Then product will deliver.
Right.
But to get his attention, you have to look as best as them. So when we did a packaging and all these things, the cost was a lot for them. For them, because it's a startup, no?
Right.
And see, and this, like those boutique brands, what happens, when they want to do their work, they assign certain budget for this thing. And the quantity of product is also not a lot.
Okay.
Because like if Forest Essential makes 1 lakh of soap per month, they make 5,000 soaps per month. But still, then see, ratio of pricing goes haywire because of quantity is less, and so printing charges, making charges, and all this. So profit, I told him, like, first, I mean, like, this is what they say, no? Like 1,000 days required to make a brand.
Correct.
Okay. I mean, like, actually it's not required. You will know after 1,000 days, okay, this can sustain or not.
Right.
So I said, like, 1,000 days you have to sustain yourself. Don't think this will make money, I'll be rich and I'll buy luxury cars, nothing. 1,000 days, you just have to spend money. 3 years time, it is, in literal manner. So luckily, like, I'm touchwood, but I'm lucky in this industry. I get a client who listens to me and agrees to my thought process and things like that. Yeah, actually. So they agreed, and we used imported papers, special printing, and we did the packaging design for them.
Okay.
When it came into the market, the response, my client was saying, the response from all sides is coming is, your packaging looks awesome. Nice. The product is good, it's working, not working. They don't get response of that one. They say, like, your packaging was looking fantastic. And then when we did website and then their social media, everybody said, this looks very interesting. So my agenda is to, in my studio, our agenda is to understand the requirement of brand. Yeah. So what is this brand requires? We don't look at it, it's a startup, they don't have money, we don't decide channels to promote it and all this. We decide how it needs to look, what brand requires.
Right.
And according to that, we do the creation and all these things. So my studio purely works on that basis. Who's our client is not important. What is brand requirement?
Yeah.
And that's how we work on these things. End result is very important. No?
Yeah,
the consumer, you need to impress consumers.
sure.
See, in digital world, a lot of dynamics have changed now. Because everybody, like, we were surprised to get the orders. Then Herbal Beach got orders from Udaipur, Ahmedabad, Nagpur, Sangli, and all these things. I mean, like, they were saying, first when they briefed us, it's like our target audience is metros and upmarket consumers. But now everybody's got money in small villages and all this. And the people are conscious. They buy good products. They want to be
Conscious about everything.
yeah, everything. So they were very surprised, and actually, it's doing well because of how that brand is looking like. Right. Appearance is very important, right? So this is a basic function.
Understand the objective.
Yeah, and yeah, so yeah, absolutely. See, in current days now, everybody, though they are aware about what is happening in branding industry, what is happening in product packaging design and stuff like that, they are innovative. I mean, like, they want to do a good job and all this, but they don't know much about it. They just, because exposure, no? They get to say, this is nice and this looks good and all these things, but it's going to cost them. That they don't understand. So you need to guide them now.
Right.
See, what happens, you make fantastic soap, but you don't know how to go further than that one.
Right.
So that is branding custodian's job, okay? To guide them in right manner,
Right.
hold their hands, give them a confidence. Ki this is how it's going to
Like
work.
tell them the possibilities.
Yeah, absolutely. Thing when Herbal Witch products came into the market, another cosmetic company approached me.
Okay.
Okay. They said, you did the packaging for Herbal Witch? I said, yeah. They said, we are coming out with skincare range and we want to do packaging design with you. So I said, oh, that's lovely. They are competition to each other, but they thought like, this guy has done a fantastic job on this new coming brand, upcoming brand. So they came to me recently. That this particular brand is established in the market right now. It's called and is done. The packaging is done by a well-known packaging designer. Okay. Now they came to me, and I'm revamping entire portfolio of these things. Recently, I did their skincare for a sunscreen packaging, and that guy, when he saw the packaging and detailing, he just saw the detailing of the cap, how I wanted a cap, I wanted a glass top and color of this thing and stuff like that. Everything when I told him, when I explained in the packaging. So he spent 15 days all over India to get that done. Okay. And poor guy couldn't do it in India. So he sourced it from China. He said, Sachin sir, I'm going to achieve this result. You wanted this result, I'll achieve this.
Right.
So finally, this packaging entire thing is happening in China.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Just because of he was not getting that result. And so though he was showing me and all these things, I said like, it's okay. I'm not liking it, but if you're okay with it, you can go ahead. So he said, no. Till you say yes, I'm not going to change it. So finally, just recently, he just showed it to me. He's got it done and it's looking really fantastic. So in our industry, the main mantra is work brings works. Yeah, so you are as good as your last job. Remember these things. Yeah. So you have to do that one. Fantastic. How many years you spend in industry, how many these things you did, nothing works in this thing. How good you are in your last job. If that is done well, you will go further. Yeah, it's like.
It sounds really great, sir. So can you talk about like your role as a creative director in your, what are your responsibilities and job in the agency as?
See, for any creative director, he needs to understand what his client is hoping with this particular project,
right?
What he wants to achieve,
right?
Okay, maybe whatever his reasons of sales or industry recognition, right, or whatever he wants to do it. So creative director needs to understand his needs, right? Okay, then understand brand needs. And right. See, there is a client needs, there is a brand needs. There are two different things, right? Because that brand needs come from the target audience, understanding the target audience, right, which target they are going to communicate to. So once you understand these 2-3 things, then creative director can play role of deriving strategy, creative strategy, how to approach these things. Right. Okay, like he can decide, okay, this is the target audience. He's sitting here, and this is what his area, this is what he's thinking. This is his free time. This is when he gets into the social media and browse through the things like that. How do we tackle him, or how do we reach him, right, wherever he is, and all these things. See, now the new media has given you so much to reach individual. Okay, like social media and all these things, they tell you, if you want to reach him on this particular time, you can reach him that way, and how this is how it works. So the creative director's role has become very larger now. To understand what target audience is doing right now, what is his likeables, non-likeables, how do we get his attention, right, and then so once you understand, once you have answers of all these things, okay, then you sit with your creative team and discuss these things. Okay, this is the guy, this is the brand. We need to attract him, or we need to talk to him. So this is where creative team comes together, discuss things, and then big idea comes. And once the big idea is done, okay, then execution, in which channel, which platform we are going to communicate that one. Right. And then main thing is it needs to be visually delighting
Obviously.
to grab the attention of your TG. And second thing, your messaging has to be so perfect. It's so overcrowded right now. No? Two messages coming from different platform and on this, wherever you go, they follow you. Like analytics works in that manner.
Right.
You just think about something and then on your social media and everywhere it shows you, okay, this is it. You don't even need to say these things. You don't need to search in Google, things. So creative director's role expands in this fashion. Like sit with creative team, discuss the ideas, educate the client. That is another important thing because the client also needs to understand the creative process.
Right.
Till he doesn't understand creative process, he's not going to understand the creatives, what we are going to do. So that is also part of creative director. And then inspiring your creative team to do good path-breaking work, present it to the how it is going to look different and from the same category and all these things. So this is inspiring creative team, inspiring client, getting the brief down to this thing. So it is a larger role,
right,
for creative directors. I worked in Aloe Lintas and I worked on Unilevers.
Okay.
That is another institution where you learn about your target audience, key insights, how to have a tone of voice, messaging, visual ideas.
Right.
So that is like, it's not just I'm drawing right now and presenting it to client. I understand all this. Like this is become, every creative director has to play this role. So it's very common for all creative directors. Yeah, it is challenging. See, what happened, when I entered in industry, it was doing path-breaking work. Okay, that was the challenge. Now, today's world, doing path-breaking work stays there only. Okay, but with path-breaking work, you are actually talking to individuals.
Right.
That there was a larger target group. Now target group is defined so core that nowadays work happens for individual guy also.
Right.
I want to talk to you. What will appeal to you? This is what it's going to be. So that's why creative work is also increased a lot. Quantity of the work is increased a lot because the way you will get that idea and the way he will get the idea is different thing.
Obvious.
So language has to be different. Visual appeal has to be different. So, but it has to be systematic in that same platform, okay? Or it needs to look seamless because it has to look from that particular brand.
Right.
So it can't look different for you and different for him and all these things. So there is a little twisting happens in creative process, but it has a brand language, same brand language, it's a tone of voice and all this. It should come from family. Yes, absolutely.
So what do you think sets great advertising campaigns or design campaigns apart from the mediocre ones?
Actually, we can't say mediocre or great campaign and all these things. It's circumstances makes them whatever they are and all these things. So we can't really see. Main job for any campaign or anything is what is client's expectation about it. What does he expect out of this campaign or this particular project? I don't say campaign very much because of that used to be passive word and used to be. Today is the project wise. It says project or something like that. Okay. See, there is if certain campaign doesn't work in the market, there is a reason for it because there is a gap between the what client expects and what is a communication agency is delivering. So that gap needs to reduce. Then every campaign will work in the market. Okay. Now, since the digital era is started, there is a lot of time constraint that's come because of lots of work you need to churn out, because of lots of work is needed, because kind of platform we are working on right now. And so deadlines is becoming shorter and shorter and shorter. Okay. So, and there is so much exposure through the internet world and all these things. The originality or campaign ethics are losing its sense and some stuff like that. So we have to go back and think about it. What will actually work in the market and what will aspire this generation to see it. So you have to give a creative freedom to your creative team and also maintain the client's requirement.
Right.
Those are another challenge on these things. And since the work is increased a lot and there is a platform, which is a lot of platforms has opened and all these things, like, for example, influencer marketing, that was not there and things like that. So you need to brief them. So collaboration has become a big nowadays. So control over all these collaborative process and this thing. This is another challenge for these things. Okay. And a lot of technologies evolving every day. And like, if you sleep for one day, next day you'll realize there is something else is happening in the market and stuff like that. So you need to be continuously adapting to the new technology, what is happening in the market. So those are the challenges. Increase. How we do a fantastic campaign or fantastic project is core is understanding the target audience.
Right.
It's very important. Okay? What is the target audience and which are the competitors are talking to those same target audience. Okay. We have to look at least as good as them, if not better. If you do better job, then that's a fantastic. Okay. But at least you have to look as good as them because of consumers have a choices. It's spread in front of him and he'll choose what appeals to him. So that's actually a challenge nowadays. So you have to work meticulously to appeal to a larger target audience and define target audience. So these are the
checkpoints.
These are the checkpoints, and these are actually helps making something work in the market or
Creating good campaign.
Yeah, absolutely. Every project, yeah, it's absolutely like that.
These are the 4 points.
Yeah.
We say like solving the objective, creating a good insight, like coming up with the good insight.
Yeah.
Attracting having a clear mindset about the target audience.
Yes,
So
absolutely.
from these checkpoints, we can create like more good and like great advertising
Better.
design campaigns, right? So thank you so much for joining us today, sir, for the first episode.
Yeah.
So what was the would you tell like one piece of advice for the newcomers, like
Upcoming talents in the market. Okay. See, current area is changing consumer behavior. Consumer behavior is changing drastically. Okay, because there is overload of content coming from all platforms, all areas. Okay. So what is happening, wherever you go, whatever you are doing, they are with their devices. So content is coming in all directions. So span of attention is reducing day by day. So if you don't attract or take attention of your consumer or target audience within 3 seconds, you lost it. As simple as that. So in first 3 seconds, what you are saying, messaging wise, visually wise, all these things, that matters a lot. How you will intrigue him to see it further. That's the challenge right now. So whoever is entering in the industry, he has to understand that first 3 seconds are very important to get his attention. And once you get his attention, your product has to deliver, your message has to deliver, your visual appeal has to deliver, and everything has to. It's as simple as that. But these first 3 seconds are very important.
So first 3 seconds, this will decide that product will sell or not sell.
He will give his time or not, your target audience. So that is another challenge is happening. And see what happens, that every time there is a transformation or new development happens in technology or all these things, people get scared. What is going to happen to us or our job and things like that. Like for example, AI is started.
Right.
Okay. Artificial intelligence. So people are saying, now I lose my job, I lose this thing. It's not like that. You have to use very smartly this AI. AI is helping. See, now you churn out a lot of work within a small span of time. Okay. So AI will help you doing that one. AI is not going to replace AI is not substitute for human, because human creativity is more, intuition is more, judgment is more. So AI, if you use these prompts, you can use AI in betterment of your work and all this. So every challenge is you need to face it in that manner and make sure how you use this technology for betterment of your profession and all these things. Yeah, absolutely. So piece of advice is learn every day. New things. See, learn. I mean, like, you are student for whole life. True. So if you follow that rule, so you are this thing. Yeah, updated. Yeah, updated.
Learn the new things.
Yeah, understand these things. It's like AI is helping a lot to like, in our days we used to create a visuals referring from stock images, magazines, learn these things, join them, Photoshop them. Right now I can go to AI, tell him I want this background, I want this clothing, I want this attitude on the face, and I get visual. So when I shoot, I have everything detailed it out. So you have to use smartly. So integration with AI is important part in today's world. So whatever the technological tomorrow, I don't know what is going to happen tomorrow. You have to update yourself, and that's how you can make successful career in advertising.
So thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much for listening to the Art, Ads and Idea podcast. Stay tuned for next exciting episode. If you like this video, please do share, like and subscribe. This is Valmik Sonone signing off. Thank you so much.